All right, guys. So this strategy, this technique is what I used to flip 100K to 1 million. All right, there's two strats that I used. The first video that's on this channel is what I used from like 100 to 100K. And then from 100K to a million, I used this following strategy. All right, it's pretty basic. I'm gonna draw it out for you and then I'll show you with this example. You have a bullish trend. At some point, the trend is gonna go bearish. It has to break the last higher low, or if it's bearish, the last lower high. It comes back up to retest, and boom, you catch not the very bottom, but like close to the bottom. And that's it. That is your trade right there. You would enter right here, make stops right here just in case. In reality, your stop loss would be right here. But sometimes price likes to wick, so just let it wick out. And that's it. Simple as that. Super simple. Now, you can use a line chart if you want. It can kind of help you, right? Like these small pieces are just noise. What you would just focus on is the top and bottom. Top of this, bottom of this. Like, you get what I'm saying. But let's just use the candlesticks for now. All right. Well, we can obviously mark up. You can literally see like some type of bullish trend, right? But it wouldn't look clean if I'm marking like this. So what I like to do is whatever is most recent, mark out those lows. It's the same thing as if we were to mark out like this, but just to make it clean, we're just gonna put it like right here. Just copy and paste, put one for the top, something like that. Cool, you know, it connects here, and connects there. All right, cool. And the reason we're using this low, sorry for the noise with the mic. The reason we're using this low right here, why are we using this one and not this one? The reason for that is because price actually broke this high. So if price creates a new higher high, then this low is valid. If price comes back, goes higher, and this, if it creates this low and breaks this price, then yeah, you know, these are valid. Now, if price does something like this wouldn't be valid anymore. This is the last higher low, not this one. All right, we're gonna let price run, and let's see what's up. Actually, not before anything, I just want to let you know this is the plan right here. Since this is the last higher low, we want this to break. You might want this one to break. You can catch a sniper entry, and then, you know, price just comes back up, retests, and you can catch the whole move. But I've done that before. It's super risky, and I recommend you just wait for confirmation. Simple as that. Wait for confirmation. Don't risk it, and just be safe. So remember, we're gonna aim for this higher low. We want this low to get broken. We want the bullish trend to become bearish. All right. So we're just letting it run. Okay. This is step one. All right. The trend was bullish, and step one is complete. All right. We got the trend to break, and now step two is the retest. All right. I'm sure you guys can see this. So it's not exactly to the T, but you get what I'm saying. All right. We want price to come back up. Now, I'm going to show you a tool that I like to use. This tool is for you to find where is the middle of this trend. Like, instead of you just blindly marking out the middle of it, what I'm marking is specifically these two, right? The high of this and the low of this. All right. Instead of you just like blindly marking out the middle, you can get a specific and precise zone out of it. It's this tool. If you're ever marking out sells, like if you're ever marking out a downtrend and you want it to go up bullish for the retest and then come back down, you mark out the bottom of it, mark out the top of it, right, which is right here, and there you go. You have the you're gonna mark out the 0.6 to 0.5. Whoops. So that would be your zone, and you just cancel the tool. And if you drag this out, like there's points that connect, bro. It's like legit. Okay. So to get this tool, I forgot to tell you guys, you go right here, right to the third option, not the first. Bro, what the heck? I accidentally clicked with my keyboard. Anyways, go to the third one, and you're gonna go to this option right here, GAN box. Right? You click on it, and now I'm gonna give you my settings. Give me a quick second. So I want you to copy everything you see here. Just pause the video, copy everything you see here. Let me see what's up here. No. All right. Copy this. Take your time, whatever. Once you're done, let's proceed to the next thing. Okay. So you mark out the bottom. We'll drag it to the top right here, and there we go. We got our zone. All right. So remember, we're not gonna, like in this example right here. Damn, I deleted it. All right. We're not just gonna enter here and put our stop loss right here, right? That's way too risky. So we're always gonna put like a little bit higher, right? So just have that in mind. Okay, so right now we're not gonna enter until price comes here, and we want to see some type of doji, like some type of doji and bearish reaction. Like let's just say you see this right here, the doji candle, and then a bearish candle that took out this one, like an impulse candle. We want to see something like that. Another thing I want to keep you guys updated with is this. This type of pattern is deadly, bro. This pattern happens in retests and in reversals. So if you can memorize this pattern, here, I'll flip it for you. That's a bearish pattern, and this is a bullish pattern. There's always one big candle, right? There's always one big candle, and then there's like a mini one right here. Goes back up, back down, and then it just explodes. It's not the best drawing, but you get what I'm saying. This type of pattern, bro, if you can memorize it, then clean, and you would enter on a doji. Dojis are always the breaking point. That's like the, price is about to break, and like, are you ready? So this pattern is really important. This pattern right here as well. Right? If there's a bullish doji that just closes right above it, and you see that the doji has a huge wick rather to the top or to the bottom, bro, we're about to pump up. Okay. All right, going back to the strat, this is what I'm looking for. I want to see, price reverse, but in order for price to reverse, we need some type of doji in order to come back down. In this case, we have the doji here, but let's just say this is like the higher low of a mini trend, right? Of a mini trend. Once you get your doji, you're gonna want price to break right here. You want price to like literally go down. That will tell you, bro, we just broke the trend, right? We officially already broke the trend. Let me take these out. So in this case, let's just let this price go up. And I apologize, the heater's about to turn on, so I apologize for the background noise in advance. But F it. Okay, so far right now we have this little mini higher low that price made. We want a doji. Remember what I said? We want a doji. Okay. So now this is a new higher low, right? If price keeps going up, then just keep dragging it up. All right, you can catch a sniper like that. Okay. The wick doesn't count. Okay, that's valid. There we go. It closed right below it. Even by a little bit, it still counts. All right, there we go. We mark it. Now this becomes our stop loss right here. All right. Remember, like technically you can just drag it right here, but it's gonna be a super tight stop loss. So we're gonna drag it right up here. All right, bro. Why is it that the day I decide to record, you freaking hear people beeping, helicopters, and the heater all at the same time, bro? What the heck, bro? Man, annoying. Okay, so we caught a sniper move, right? We know it's gonna go bearish now. All right, we already caught the retest, and now we are in the trade. All right, we're in the trade, and we're gonna aim not for the very low, but like right around it. And I'll show you how to figure that out. Okay, in this case, I'm not gonna mark out literally every single point, but this is the very low, the very bottom, right? And this is the very top. This is the middle. Let's just say like right here-ish. You want the middle, the middle of the trend, and the middle of that towards the bottom. So I think like right here would be good. It's simple as that. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. So once again, you mark out the middle of the trend, and right below that, right? You're looking at the middle of the trend and the low of it, and you want the middle of both of those. Just figure it out when you're marking out a chart. Figure out where's the middle of the middle, the middle of the middle, and mark out the little zone there. So we want to mark out a zone that has many touching points. Let's just mark out something like this. Okay, so this is gonna be our TP. We're gonna drag it right up there. 7 pips is your stop loss right here, and then 16 pips is your TP. If you were to risk your whole account here, let's say risking $100, you would be making $200 profit. So that's a $300 account at the end. Or if you want to do account flips, then you risk $100 to make $100. All right, simple, right? What I was using for the account flips, right here, 1-to-1s. If it's a beautiful trade, let it run. All right, so now we're gonna just, I'm gonna move these to the side. It's important for you guys to take a look at this when you can. It's so simple, but it's hard to find in the market. Damn. All right, so now we just let this run. I'm gonna put this at 7. Oh, by the way, look, wait, hold on. Before we continue, look at this. The importance of putting your stop loss this high, because look, if we would have placed it right here, we would have been stopped out, and then it went in our favor. So just put it, not to this wick, but to this one right here, the very high of it. All right, so let the trade run. And just so that you guys can know, price can go back up. It could be doing a lot of this. Look, you know, we did the retest. We're in here right now. Price could be doing a lot of this, a lot of choppiness, a lot of noise. It can get real high, close to this, and it will still go down. As long as price doesn't break this lower high, we're still bearish. Has it broken it yet? Bro, it didn't even get that close, bro. So we're good. Keep your stop loss big and just let it run. Just let it run. Just remember, it didn't break this, so we're still bearish. And you have nothing to lose. You just have $100 to lose, so you're good. It's just making extra noise, bro. I promise you, on the higher time frames, this was just like a whole doji right there. All right, I went way too far right there. You don't always want to aim for the very low of the trend, because, bro, it will reverse on you, bro. I'm telling you. If the overall trend on the higher time frames are bullish and you're aiming for the very low of it, bro, you're cooked. All right? You're cooked. Because if a trend goes like this, higher time frame is like this, and you're aiming for this low, bro, F out of here, bro. If you're aiming for this low, that is not guaranteed. What's guaranteed for sure is like somewhere right here, and then it'll go back up. It'll do like a, you know, huge fake out and then go back up. But never aim for the very low of it. Never, bro. Or else you'll become liquidity, bro. You'll become the sweep. So in this case, we're aiming for something like this, somewhere right here. Remember, it's like the middle of the middle. Middle of the trend would be like right here, the low, and the middle would be right here. So cabalito, we're aiming for the middle of the middle. Yeah, that's the best example I can give you here. Matter of fact, I can see another setup, another setup with the same strategy, right? Without deleting anything. You already know what happened. Let me delete everything. Well, yeah, I'm gonna delete it. F it. Okay, right over here. You could have entered 2 setups. Holy, bro. Maybe 3 with this. I don't know yet. All right. We have the setup, right? You can tell it's bullish. Yeah, F it. I was going to delete it. Let's just leave it. Okay. We can mark out this low connected to this low. All right. You know what? I think it's going to be too much noise, but you get it. This is a bullish move right here. All right. Okay, so price, price went up, came back down. So this low is valid only because price broke higher, right? Since price broke higher, this low is very important. Okay, it's making a lot of noise, blah, blah, blah. At some point, we break this low right here. So that's important, very important for us. I'm gonna mark that out right there. Okay. Another thing I'm gonna tell you is this is gonna be kind of hard, but you have to figure out when and where specifically to mark out your middle of the trend. What I often like to do is switch to different time frames. You have to see which one's better. Let me go on. I think 1 minute is fine. This candle means BS, bro. This means nothing right here, bro. That's like if there was a gap, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, unfortunately there's no gaps here. I don't see none. But when these candlesticks they just skip, like let's just say this is one candle and then out of nowhere just goes right here, like there's a whole gap. So that wick, that candlestick means nothing, bro. But this doji on the other hand means something. So we're gonna mark out the low, right here, and extend it to the high. So before I even explain why, look, this bottom move to this top move is where you're looking for. This is the bearish push down, right? The only thing that these dojis are telling you is that, buyers were getting out, that price is getting weaker, and yeah, we're going in the bearish direction. That's all. That's the only thing that these candles are telling you, bro. If you don't see a doji at the very high, then it just means BS, bro. Like it's just in favor with the bearish candles. Like, for example, right here, look. Let me prove my point. There was a bearish candle right here. Wouldn't that mean we were in for sells? Nope. Hell nah, bro. We were in the middle of the trend. Right here. Bearish candle. Bearish candle. Nope. We're not going down, bro. If you don't see a doji at the very bottom or at the very top of the move, then you're chilling, bro. Like these don't mean nothing to you. Don't get scared of it. For example, here this one was good because did a retest and it dumped. But we're getting up to there. Just give me a second. So you mark out the move, right? Mark out the move. Preferably, I would like a push up or down with the same colored candles. Let's just say something like this. I think it would look cleaner. It'd look better. But sometimes you're going to get some bum dojis in there. Like right here. But cool. We're going to mark that out. We're going to put that in the trade. And this is what we're at, right? Mark this out. Mark it out right there. I'm going to extend it a little bit. You mark out the 60 to 50 and delete this. Okay. What we're going to do now, if you ever see this, I'm going to explain something important to you. If you ever see something like this, the move up, and then you see some type of doji candle like this, just know that this was a retest, right? Because if you truly would have seen, something like, okay, there's no good examples. Okay, the whole point is one big push up is a lot of volume. It's not a consistent push up, right? It's not like, oh, huge pushes up. Nah, bro. If it's just one, if the whole move is bearish and you see one big push quick and then you see a doji next thing, bro, averigüese, bro. Be ready, bro. Be ready. All right, so we got the push up. We got a nice doji. What I like to do, I like to wait for at least 2 candles to go by. right? That way you don't get faked out. All right. So this was the move. We got the first candle. We got the second candle. So after the second candle, that candle right there, once that closes, like I'm telling you, the minute it closes, you enter sells right here. So that means you'd be entering like right there. Stop loss will be right above it. Why are we not putting stop loss higher this time? Because actually no. We could put it right here. My fault, chat. I caught my own self. Damn. It's really tricky. I'm telling you, like this is the 1 minute time frame. Like you have to read each candlestick. All right. This doji right here represents this, right? Whoops, I gotta draw it again. So we're in right here, and this doji represents that last lower high right here. You can easily tell by just marking out the push down. Mark out the push down, and the very high of it will be your stop loss. All right. You're not gonna aim for the very low. We're gonna mark out the top, the bottom, the middle, which would be maybe right here. If you don't want to guess it, you can also mark out with the tool. All right. The middle would be right here. And in the middle of the middle, we can also mark that out if you want to be safe. It would be right here. Okay, we delete these. So that's where your TP will be. You drag it right there to the middle of the middle. I swear that's something new I invented today, bro. Okay, we have a nice push. You had 2 pips on the line, made 7 pips, but it was a 1 to 2.5. Beautiful push. And this was at 253. Yeah, this is realistic. I would have taken this trade for sure. But that's the move that you're aiming for. You're not aiming for the low. In this case, it did go for the low, but is it realistic? Definitely not, bro. All right, I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna look for one more, and then I think that's it. I'm gonna delete these examples. I think you can even do it in buys in this case. Let's flip the chart. All right. So far, we're gonna move up, and we have this low that's valid. This is the last low. When it comes to big pushes, I think we should stick to the 5-minute for this. When it comes to big pushes, you have to be super patient and not enter like at the very top. Whoops. All right. Because if you're impatient, you'll get wicked out and then you get cooked. All right. Let's just take that out. When you get a lot of choppy candles like this is really good. It's about to explode. That was the fake out. All right. There we go. Here comes the push. If you want to scalp this, like if you want to like sniper entry type, then right after price explodes, you can mark out the trend. It'd be like this, but let's mark it out like this. Wait a minute. No, I didn't break this. Look, this was the last high I pushed. This is the low I pushed. Okay, price broke it. All right, price broke right here. Cool. Now we drag this high. We leave this there until price breaks this high. Then we're gonna drag this low up next. Did it do it? Nope. So this remains the same. Price broke it here. Cool. Now, bruh. Now we put it right here. All right. All right. Did price break above it? Nope. But it broke below it. Okay. Now we can use the retest tool. Mark out half of it. It's this high, by the way, not this one. So right here. Okay. Price didn't fully break above it, but it went too high. It should have rejected in the middle. So when it's setups like these, That's why it's always good not to enter. If you marked out your zone, right? If you marked out your zone right here, and you're like, damn, it just went right through it, then just leave it. Now, sometimes you're gonna want to catch a sniper. You're gonna be like, okay, right once it taps it, I'll enter. Bro, I am so sorry I keep marking that because the chart is reversed. Just because price tapped the zone doesn't mean you should enter. You always need some type of rejection, right? So oh my gosh, look at that. I did not know that was gonna happen, and bro, that would have been a blown account right there. So what happens in this case, right? If price actually would have came back down, here, let me go back so it looks cleaner. If price would have came back down and then it came back to the middle of it, you can enter sells, aim for the bottom, and stop loss would be right here. So that's one rule I want you guys to have in mind. If it doesn't respect your 50% zone, then don't look at it, don't trade it, because more than likely, if it disrespected it, then it will disrespect the whole idea as well. All right. But this marking out the highs, lows, and all that, super important. Always works. And it didn't break this low. This is the low we wanted, right? Never broke it. Maybe at some point, but definitely not right now. All right, who cares? I'm not going to wait for the setup. To recap on everything I showed you guys, when you get a move up, this applies for sells as well, by the way. All right, you get a move up. At some point, price breaks the most recent higher low. All right, it breaks the most recent higher low, and then you aim for sells, like right here, middle of the middle. When you put your stop loss will be, my bad. When you enter the trade, remember right here, this move right here, there's dojis. Remember what I told you, that there's maybe a bullish candle, and then the next one's bearish, and the next one's bearish. Wait for the first candle to go. Not the first candle. This was like this type of candle is not your first one. This is more of your, it's setting up the move. This is confirmation. After you see that type of candle, first candle has to be bearish or a doji. I prefer a doji, but any candle that looks weak, that you count that as one. Next candle has to be bearish. Has to, bro. Or else if it's bullish, that's a risky setup. It won't be A+ anymore. So bearish, and then you enter here once it closes. And it better close below the first candle, right? Because if it doesn't, it will look something like this. It will look something like this. It could have gone down here and then came back up, and boom. You were literally faked out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna catch these setups. Take your time with it, and for sure stop loss. I didn't mark it out, but when price is coming back down, there's like a lot of choppy candles, whatever. When you mark out that 50%, right, at some point you'll see the doji. Whatever, it's a bad example right now if I show you, but I already gave you many examples on where to find the stop loss. And stop loss, you'll put it right up there, right? You won't put it exactly where the move is happening because you don't want to get wicked out, but you'll put stop loss a little bit higher to the nearby dojis. This is the high, this is the low, this is the middle, and aim for the middle of the middle. All right, it'd be right there. And cool, that's your move. When price goes back up, don't be afraid. Let it do its thing, bro. Just let it do its thing. If the trade is meant to stop you out, then it's meant to stop you out, bro. If the trade is meant to hit your TP, then it's meant to be, bro. Like, you can't change whatever has to happen, bro. Like, you tried your best, and if it has to happen, it has to happen, bro. You can't do nothing, bro. So let it run, let it hit TP, or let it hit stop loss. Just be patient, let it run. That's it, bro. You did the hardest job, and that was finding the entry in the great setup in a great market and with a great TP. You did the hardest job. Now it's time just to Ligera FX Alex. Set and forget. Just let it run, bro. Just let it do its thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you have a girl and she's shopping, right? You tell her, let's leave. Nah, she just leave her in the mall, bro. Leave her in the store. Let her run everywhere, bro. At some point, she's gonna come back home, bro. All right. She might belong to the streets. I don't know, bro. But just let her run. Same thing with baby girl gold right here. You gotta let her run. Nah, I'm not kidding. Not all the way to the bottom. But sniper TP. Literally sniper TP. Right here. And sniper stop loss. Now I'm gonna tell you something. If you want to flip the account, right? If you want to flip your account from 100 to 1 million, I did this on demo. We might do this live. What you have to do, I don't recommend, if you're using Solid ECN or if you're using any broker that allows 1 to 1,000 leverage, I don't recommend you to leave the account at 1 to 1,000 because you can enter more positions. But if you enter more positions, right? Let's say you're in a trade with a 1 to 1,000. If you were to enter right here, and you put your stop loss right here, you know, all it takes is 5 pips for you to blow your account. 5 pips. I'm dead serious, bro. 5 pips is all you need for you to blow your account on a 1 to 1,000 leverage account. But with the 1 to 500, you can get up to 10 to maybe 12 pips. So I recommend switch the settings to your account and put it to 1 to 100. I'm sorry, bro. What am I saying? I was looking at this. Put it to 1 to 500 leverage. And it's not because we don't want to risk more, but it's because we want to be safe. Right? We want a bigger stop loss. We want to play it safe. All right. I think it's 12 to 14 trades that it will take for you to flip 100 to a million. 14, something like that. 15. Something like that. If you want, just give me a quick second. Let me search it up. It's very important for you guys to know that because you can't flip $100 straight to a million in one go. There might be people that do it, but unrealistic. I want you guys just to like put these trend lines in your mind, like not these ones specifically, but just bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. Just be ready, bro, because with this type of trend, with this type of analysis and trade, bro, like you gotta be on top of your game, bro. You gotta be on top. Like all of this is just noise, bro. You don't want to take this, bro. I mean, like, you can mark it, right? You can mark it out right here. Cool. If it breaks it and doesn't go down, that was just noise. Boom, boom, right here. It breaks it. Like if it keeps disrespecting your moves and all that, just at this point just turn off the charts, bro. Turn off your computer, bro. Okay. So 100 to a million, it'll take you 14 trades. And 14 trades, what I mean by that is doubling, right? If you're doubling a trade, you don't have to go exactly for a 1 to 2 RR precisely, like specifically. I don't care if your trade is like freaking 20 pip stop loss and a 40 pip TP, bro. I don't really care about the pips that much, but what I care is that you double the account, right? You can go for 1 to 2, or you can go for a 1 to 1, right? A 1 to 1 because if your account's at $100, right, and you want to double it, that means you need $200, right? You need your account to be at $200. So you're risking 100 here to make 100 here. And if this trade hits, you just made $100 profit, which makes your account balance go up in the total of $200, right? In the very beginning, when I was starting this challenge, that's what I was doing. I was going for 101s, But later on, as the account grew up to like I think 10K stuff like that, that's where the one to twos came in handy. All right, I apologize. This whole time I apologize for all the stuttering, the messing up, because bro, I was out of my mind, bro. I was speaking out of my mind. I wasn't like speaking because it was planned out. Nah, bro. Everything fresh, bro. Fresh, fresh, fresh. 14 trades is all it takes to get you to a million. I think it took me maybe, I don't know, maybe 16, whatever. Only because of solid ECN broker, you can't use 100 lots, 1,000 lots. It only gives you a max of 50 lots. So that's kind of gay. That kind of sucks. But I was still able to flip it, bro. I was still able to flip it. And when your account hits 100K on solid ECN, let me put this down. When your account hits 100K on solid ECN, you have a max cap of 50 lots to use. Even if your account goes higher than that, I don't care if your account goes to 300K, solid ECN doesn't increase it. It literally doesn't. Mm-mm. What other important things are there for me to say? I think that's it. I think literally that is it, bro. Look, this is the gap that I was telling you about earlier. I think there's one more thing I'm going to show you. And we're going to end it off, right? I don't want to keep you guys delayed. You can use this strat on the higher time frames, but I don't suggest it that much. I think you could have caught this move. Too choppy. Yep. All right. What I wanted to show you was if you go to the 4-hour time frame. All right. If you go to the 4-hour time frame, if you, oh, what is that doing here? What the heck? No, I'm kidding. If you go to a move, right? Let's say there's a move. Let's do. All right, I promise. 40 minutes for this video, and that's it. I got like 3 minutes left. All right, we got the move up. Price came down to its lowest right here. All right. Right inside of here, we have a trend, right? We have a trend going on in here. If you could mark out, let's say if this is a bullish trend, which it is, right? It's going up. I want you to mark out a doji. Right here. All right, just let the push happen, right? You know it's gonna go up, right? Because overall on the higher time frames we're bullish, but you want a nice doji and you want it to be at the top of the trend. Here it could be valid, but it wouldn't be so bullish, right? Because look, we have a lower high here. If it breaks it, bullish, right? And imagine if you're entering buys right here, bro. What the heck, bro? You can get faked out. So big no. Dijere las mujeres, red flag. All right, we're gonna put it right there to the doji. Technically, you're already gonna see what's gonna happen, but it's good. It's good training. You know what I'm saying? It's good to focus on this. Damn, no way it just happened already. Look at that. Risky. This is risky because it went a little bit way past it. All right, yeah, it went way too past it. Okay, let's go on the 1 minute. I didn't notice I was in the 5 minute. Trade is overall bearish. Okay, this is good. By the way, I did not see this chart in advance. Price didn't disrespect this high, so we could still be bearish. Okay, it disrespected both. I promise, guys, this is the last setup I do, and then I'm gonna end the video. Okay, this is the last low. Most recent high. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. We want this to come back up. Maybe up here. And if it doesn't, then we're just gonna be patient, let it run down. Okay, we're gonna mark out the low of this, and we're gonna mark not this up here. Yeah, it's technically the same thing. My fault, chat. Sometimes price will just wick into it and then it'll go down. If that happens, just let it go, bro. Because that's mad risky. Yep, it happened. Okay. You can catch the whole move down on the higher time frame, but way too risky. In this case, it already went to the middle of the middle. But sometimes there's opportunities that you can keep catching the retests. Damn, look at that. It did not go back up here. Crazy, bro. This would have been a crazy push, but you would have not entered this because there's literally no confirmation. You know the move is bullish. You know that price broke the last higher low. Never came back up for the retest, bro. Never. Even if you count this as the retest, this wick, zero confirmation, bro. It's like if you're driving without eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like it's blind. Stuff like that would happen. We know that the direction is bearish, bro, but would you have entered this? Definitely no, bro. Big no. And yeah, that's my whole point with the 4 hour. That's what I wanted to say. If you can mark out a doji, those are where your setups are at, right? You don't want to enter on a bullish candle or at a bearish candle. Always on dojis. So focus on that, guys, and I don't even have to demonstrate these, bro. Like, you already know. If you're in a bullish move, wait for a bearish doji. If you're on a bearish move, wait for a bullish doji. Those are your setups right there. That's where you'll find them. Don't force them. Be patient and trust, guys. God is on our side, and we'll flip this to a million, maybe a billion. If any questions, leave it in the comments. Thank you guys once again. Bye-bye.